sort of the off period during the game, he said, "You've got to take Lance away." Like, Lance has been so influential for these guys, and they're going to respond with the Ardent swapping over roams, and they're going to pick up the Celeste too.
I would love to see TSM prioritize a really strong weapon-powered jungler here and move to a CP Gwen late game, because that against the Celeste and the Kestrel is going to do so much work if they're willing to invest into that strategy.
Von-C, they're going to go for a Samuel here. It's a poke war at its finest.
I don't know if you go into a poke war with Phoenix Armada. You need an advantage from draft. You don't want to break even coming out.
Well, here we go. Xingyi, where are you thinking?
Well, look at the Samuel. The Samuel didn't work so well last time.
There are things that they've been trying to do that feel forced, and in this game, they need to just play Vainglory.
Alright, well, Von-C went that early weapon blade. I wasn't sure if that was indicating maybe something we saw from him during the regular season of Evil 8, which is that weapon Samuel, but here comes the rotate out of Druid. Phoenix, they want to go for a fight, but Druid actually getting a kill quite quickly here. He might go down. Flash picks up the kill. He's very low health, but he gets out of there. Mango, he's trying to chase, but Best Chuck, he's going to pick it up. Team Solo Mid, they rally here in Hollywood and pick up 2 kills to kick off this game.
Yeah, I mean, that was really nice. TSM able to take advantage of that. But Phoenix a little bit just overstepping themselves there, and a bit uncharacteristic of this team. But TSM doing exactly what they need to do there, and it's really nice. This is a great way for them to be starting off this game.
Oh, and Willie, talking about starting off the game right, Team Solo Mid find another kill. Have we discovered the secret sauce, Humanist? Is it taking Willie off that Lance?
Well, if Willie forgets how to rotate when he's not playing Lance, then yes.
I suppose that is a fair point. We got Flash X and Von-C making their way back to the shop. What are they going to pick up as the game goes on? I'm really curious about how Von-C is going to choose to play this, for example. Flash probably going to be going for that fountain. No surprise
you
there.
asked when the game was loading if we're going to see the weapon Samuel coming out, and I just hope that that's not what we would see here.
The reason I asked is because Fuji was saying, okay, they want a strong weapon early jungler. Von-C's weapon Samuel has actually been very strong in the early game in the Evil 8. That's a different level of competition. It's a different situation than here at the World Championship. I guess maybe Von-C not wanting to take that risk.
Well, as of this morning, it was almost Evil 8 plus Phoenix Armada, essentially. But right now, TSM doing a pretty good job. 3 kills here, 2.5 minutes in. They're doing exactly what they need to do. We see Von-C getting into a little bit of an engage, or trying to be harassing.
Druid getting involved there in the same place that Phoenix was making a lot of their plays last game. We see Flash taking some inspiration with his rotations and the types of plays he's trying to make. Even with the 3-kill advantage, though, it's important to realize Team Solo Mid not particularly far ahead. In fact, they're about 100 gold in the lead. In fact, now just falling behind. Best Chuck's got to leave his lane, try and get back to the turret as Druid actually moves forwards. He wants to go for that core collapse, can't find it. Von-C making his way up, taking a lot of poke damage with Flashes here. Best Chuck trying to set this kill up. Von-C, can he get close enough? 2-man coming out of Flash. Willie knocked back. He's been betrayed by Lance. Flash and Team Solo Mid pick up another kill. Von-C actually, look at this. Von-C wants a little bit more, finds that Malice. Doesn't get the verdict, but he's certainly toying with the idea of going in here. We know what he's like.
Guy.
That's the Drifting Dark. Oh, that's a bit wide. It's not going to land. Mango should be able to get away.
Right, but Von-C posturing there means that they're not taking anything away from the jungle, so this could turn out to, to go against them here, but Mango sitting on very low health. It looks like it's still going the way of TSM.
It is for now. Von-C as well trying to take the back Treant too. Team Solo Mid trying to just eke out every advantage in the early game they possibly can.
Yeah, this is still trading back pretty evenly though, as you said before, even though the kill lead going the way of TSM. Let's see if they can start to get some advantage off of this. We're 4 minutes into the game. We have mini miners out of the map.
If we're talking about some of the stuff that the analyst mentioned before and wave control, I think that's a great example of Team Solo Mid maybe not having that same level as Phoenix Armada. They did not have a wave to work with whilst Von-C pushed people off of the turret by moving behind it. Instead, Best Chuck had to shove like another wave, another wave, another wave, and as a result, you gotta wonder if maybe Von-C should have just gone for the jungle invade, should have just gone for the back camps immediately. In the end, it worked out similarly, but in terms of the amount of time it took Team Solo to accomplish the same thing, it was much longer.
Yeah, it definitely was. I think there's something to be said for both approaches there. Von-C also was keeping Phoenix from teleporting back to base, regening up, and purchasing some items, so that's definitely a benefit to his team. But as you said, I think Phoenix definitely have the play there.
Alright, well Phoenix do get their front camps Willie now making his way back up towards the lane, trying to help out Druid, who, by the way, not hitting that 10 CS per minute mark just yet. Actually sitting around 40 at 5. Get back to that overlay. Let's see, Von C, Best Chuck. Best Chuck is at least equal for the time being.
Yeah,
so doing a good job with that early advantage Team Solo Mid's accrued.
Yeah, I mean, he's keeping up in the CS. He's also 2-0-2 right now. He's going to be building probably into that Sour Blade breaking point that we've seen time and time again here.
Absolutely, that support collapse over the wall, and look at the poke damage coming out of Mango and Druid. It's a good return on the Mango from Von C's Samuel, but you can see if you get caught in a choke point, Phoenix can still really lay down the hurt.
Oh, they definitely can. And actually, one of the biggest weaknesses of TSM, I think, is moving through areas of the map without the proper vision. And we saw actually this exploited against them earlier in the tournament. Teams that were actually down, managing to find a way back into the game simply because Von C face checks a bush, and then suddenly he's dead. Best Chuck does the same thing. They can't afford to do that here.
Absolutely not. Every single play you make is critical here in the finals of the Vainglory World Championship. Team Solo Mid has kicked this game off well, but can they keep the ball rolling? Von C starting to make his way fade. Mango, is he going to be able to get this camp? Doesn't look like it. Team Solo Mid keeping
Von C, Malice and the Verdict both missing there, but he does get the mid. They'll get the fronts as well. And TSM taking a little bit of the map away from Phoenix. This is exactly what they need to do. I like that they haven't forced it up to this point, but just continuous accumulation of resources across the map, and they're doing a really good job thus far.
Absolutely, and we do have the weapon power Gwen. She's going to spike a little bit earlier. Team Solo Mid looking to make some more aggressive plays sometime soon. See with Flash X and Von C both moving towards the lane. That's a good indicator that they want to start applying pressure again. Turret's still unscathed for Phoenix, though. They might be able to keep this defense going. Yeah,
they should be able to. As long as you see the Helios stack up right in front, Druid, he'll go Supernova when he needs to, but it's also just a threat having that Helio down. Von C in the Drifting Darkness.
Oh, nearly walking into that active camera, but not quite. Baiting in for Flash to land the Impale. Willie has the fountain. Does allow Mango to back up a little bit. Core collapse on the Von C. Team Phoenix, they think they want to turn things around here, but it's not. Oh, Flash! He can't get over the wall! That's one kill for Phoenix Armada. They want more, but it's hard for them to chase blindly into the fog of war right now.
Yeah, they overstayed their welcome right there, and they got punished for it.
Oh,
looks like he wants some.
He's walking for the push. What are you doing? Mango and Druid pick up the kill. Now Best Chuck on the run. He's going to skedaddle on out of there. Team Solo Mid, they got to be careful, man. Making those misplays could easily get Phoenix Armada back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, that felt like a misplay there. I thought maybe Von C was seeing something that we weren't really, but he moves up there, maybe thinking Best Chuck is just going to collapse with him, but a bit of hesitation just spells disaster for this team.
Absolutely. Now, with 2 kills on the board, Phoenix Armada has closed that gold gap again. They're within 100. Mango's picked up a Sorrow Blade. Those Glimmer shots are just going to be chunking people down. Team Solo Mid, what's the best way, in your opinion, for them to keep the ball rolling and keep the pressure on Phoenix?
Well, I think, honestly, they just need to continue what they were doing that was successful in this early game, which is just apply pressure in the lane, let Von C take the mid in the front as he can without forcing it. And also, I'd like to see a surprise out of this top push. They need to clear the scout trap.
Speaking of surprise, Mango caught unawares by Flash X's Impale, going to be going down. Von C wants Willie. He's a little bit too tanky right now. Von C's made that same rotate under the turret time and time again. Getting some good damage on them. They're going to find the first turret in the game for Team Solo Mid.
Yeah, great tackle.
Oh, Oblivion! It's going to land on a Druid. Core Collapse stops Von C from following up with the damage. That's coming in. That's another kill. Team Solo Mid making the plays.
Really making the plays here. And you look at Phoenix's draft, and they have massive damage output between the Kestrel and the Celeste. Of course, Celeste not at her strongest right now. But if you get impaled, they are very squishy targets right here, and easy for TSM to take them down.
All right, you can see Mango moving in. Doesn't want to give away so many of these camps, but with the first turret down, the map is wide open for Team Solo Mid. They've got the ability to push their vision across towards Phoenix's base, make sure that they're not getting caught at any point. Best Chuck, he's just finished a breaking point. Team Solo Mid's really starting to hit their item breaking points overall, hit those power spikes.
Oh, they really are. They're in a great place right
now. Mango, even through the entirety of that active camo stealth, he takes a lot of damage. Does find the stun onto Best Chuck, but he's going to be taken out. TSM finds another kill, 7-2. Much better performance so far in this third game.
All right, Flash. I see you working here. Flash made that happen right there. They do not get those kills if Flash does not land an impale into the Githian wall. That was absolutely perfect, and you know, we've given credit to Willie landing all of these engages time and time again. We'll have to see if Flash can continue to do so, but that was a phenomenal play.
Willie has just picked up a Crucible, and one thing, I remember in the interviews, for example, we were talking to some players about the mechanics of East Asian teams. They were saying, you know, normally, North America, we're going to Crucible your Verse of Judgment. They were like, well, in East Asia, they're going to Crucible your Gift of Fire. They're not even going to give you the chance to get the stun. So what I'm curious about is how Willie is going to use this to get his teammates out of things like these engagements from Flash with those impales, with those Githian walls.
Well, honestly, I think it's going to be completely situational. Willie is not the type of player that's going to just choose before the team fight happens what he's going to do. He's going to look to negate the biggest damage coming out.
That is the route coming out onto Mango, but follow-up a little bit dangerous there for Team Solo. And Oblivion coming across, not going to land. Crucible burned. Doesn't actually connect with any of the crown control coming out of Team Solo. Fonzie kind of low on energy, maybe Team Solo thinking about backing away a little bit here.
Maybe, unless he gets that corrupted genius off, right?
Yeah, but you gotta move kind of close to do that. Right now, if you move too close, Druid, Mango, Willie, they're gonna be on you like a flash. Put down the damage. Corklab needs to clear the wave. Nothing for TSM to work with to shove the turret here.
Yeah, they're doing a pretty good job thus far. As you said, they really weren't in a position to force it. I'm glad that they did not. It's going to be Fonzie and Flash taking the full back rotation away from Phoenix. It's a really good job. And the net worth is something that we mentioned a couple times, you know, through the first 8 minutes of this game, which was incredibly even. Right here, we're seeing TSM actually start to stack up a little bit of lead in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is that they got that turret that gave them access to deeper and deeper parts of Phoenix's back end of the jungle. That lets them take more camps. That really, this is different. Mango finds a stun on the Flash here, but Phoenix, they're buying their time. They're certainly a team who knows how to play passive if they need to.
Best Chuck, if we look at the items that he has right now, the Sorrow Blade, the Breaking Point, the Tyrant's Monocle, and he just infused. This is what I was actually going to bring up, and it's really funny to see it come out here, but he is ahead of everybody in terms of items right now. Vainglory is holding his own infusion as well, so Team Solo Mid are ready to just devastate Phoenix if they catch anyone out here.
And is the vision going to be there for Phoenix Armada? Only flares, no scout traps on Willie, which means he's mostly just saying, okay, I think they're here right now, I'm going to check that, check that. It means if Team Solo Mid uses their scout traps, their flares to see where he is, they might be able to maybe catch them on those. Best Chuck actually trying to use that buckshot instead of the flare to check the push. Flash taking poke damage, he tries to get back on a Willie. That's just popped. I don't know if that was necessarily needed by Phoenix. Gauntlet comes out, Vainglory stunned up inside of it. Best Chuck skedaddles through the other end. Druid does not land the Solar Storm, but he trades the kill. Mango still quite healthy over the wall. He's finding the glimmer shots onto Vainglory. Flash X extremely low. Willie and Mango, they want Vainglory. One shot, one kill comes out. Phoenix Armada, this is the turnaround, perhaps, or is it Malice and Verdict doing so much damage? Mango, he's gonna get away, but it's not the same for Willie. Vainglory stops that fight from being what Phoenix have really been looking for the past couple of minutes.
I'm actually very surprised that it traded out that evenly, and it has to come down to TSM forcing that fight. If they just take a fight on their terms in that moment, the advantage that they had right there was significant. And it's kind of tough to actually see that happen right there. Although Vainglory able to do okay cleanup in the end, it's definitely one of those fights that really could have been dominating from their side.
Absolutely, and you got to remember, guys, the pressure these teams are under is immense. They're playing for the first World Championship. Look at this fight. Vainglory unable to really get into the meat of it straight away.
Yeah, and Best Chuck forced away from his team into the back lines there as he tries to take down Druid. It's just so tough as he gets chopped down. And Mango, while he doesn't have too many items, he did such a great job there with those glimmer shots and basics over that wall. But here's Vainglory with one Malice and Verdict landing. Mango decides he just doesn't want any of that business. It's pretty easy to clean up Willie there as you had 5 stacks on that broken man.
All right, we are nearing the 15-minute mark, ladies and gentlemen, which means Kraken will be an objective on the map very soon. This is something Team Solo Mid, with the current advantage, can maybe leverage one shot. Gonna land on the Vainglory. Does that set them up for the fight? Man, impale though, gets involved too. Flash X with the plays, aces high on the Druid. He cannot fight back. They
Willie
cancel it.
interrupted out of the gauntlet. That means that there's nothing stopping them from maybe going on to Mango if they want. He's trying to sneak away. Can he actually get out though? There's the active camera
There's
reveal
no way
by
out.
the buckshot. Team Solo Mid pick up an ace.
They're all the way up right here. Team Solo Mid taking the perfect fight, canceling off the gauntlet. They did absolutely everything they needed to here. You're gonna see the fight start off, and Phoenix feel like they have a bit of an advantage as the one-shot lands, but this two-man impale into the Githian wall. Druid just gets blown up. The Oblivion coming out, canceling off that gauntlet. Feels bad for Willie, but a very nice play out of Team Solo Mid.
All right, with that, Kraken unquestionably going to be going the way of TSM. The 12 kills to 4. They're massively ahead in gold right now at around 5,000.
A little bit of life back in this crowd back here.
Oh man, home crown's hyped up. Team Solo Mid, they're thinking about pushing in here though. They gotta be careful not to overextend, however. In the moment, in the rush, it could get very tempting to go too far.
Well, even the best teams can sometimes make mistakes when they get that Kraken and start pushing down into these lanes. You hope that TSM, if you're a big TSM fan, are not going to overextend here. Team Phoenix, they just need to get that damage down. They have all the tools they need here.
I mean, Phoenix, they do have a lot of poke damage. They do have the ability to kill the Kraken quite quickly. Team Solo Mid doesn't pull the trigger if they want to really make this Kraken push go as far as the Vein Crystal. But Flash X thinking about doing that right now. Roots on to the Druid. Oblivion coming out as well. Crucible blocks in. Druid actually walking back in, trying to get onto the backline, trying to find the damage, but he's going to be going down before Willie can even fountain. Mango, can he get the damage he needs on the Fonzie? He's stunned up just a little bit. The Drifting Dark doing the work. Team Solo Mid, they're going to take Game 3 and keep this series alive along with North America's hopes and dreams.
You know, I figure there's a lot of people out there that would have written TSM off after the first 2 games. Dominating performance out of Phoenix. But Game 3, a completely different story here. I mean, at TSM, they had the draft, they executed on it, maybe 1 or 2 mistakes.